says, we're here.
Are we?
I don't know. I am never all here. I'm a little out there, if you know what I mean. So I never claim to be all here. It would be inaccurate, and I hate being inaccurate. But I will proceed as if I'm here. Hello.
Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream. We'll record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 6 minutes early. So if you are here for the live stream and you do not like idle chit chat, you got about 6 minutes to go do what you got to do. If you are here after the live stream, but before I put in timestamps, and you don't like idle chit chat, fast forward by about 6 minutes. Hi, Claire. Hi, Wendy. We're here.
We are.
For anybody who did not happen to, hi, Dirty Stoner Hippie. For anybody who did not happen to see the community post, because those do not always get shown well, we're fine. We're fine.
Mm-hmm.
We're fine.
Yep.
We're fine. I mean, we've had other things happen that had nothing to do with the storm.
Yeah.
We will complain about that later. But yeah, we're fine. We'll talk about the rest during probably the bonus section.
Yeah.
But, yeah. You okay over there?
No. I'm having
a seat issue?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we want to talk about? We are having our first little cold front here.
Yeah.
I am wearing a long sleeve shirt, a little hoodie. I am also wearing shorts and have nothing on my feet. So I'm actually only dressed like this because it's cozy. Not because I'm like overly cold. I could do a t-shirt, but it was like, oh look, I can like bundle. I can pretend I'm bundling up.
And see, I'm the opposite of her. I've got t-shirt on, obviously.
Right.
But I have long pajama pants on.
Do you have
but
your
y'all
slippers
can't see
on?
that. I just took them off. They're sitting here at my feet.
Wow, for when your feet get cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, until we hit the depths of our winter, which one will take a while and two is not that serious. I will fluctuate either between long sleeves and flip-flops or long pants and like a t-shirt and still probably flip-flops. I can't bundle up too much or I'll get hot. Hi, Mr. Pfister. I mean, I kind of stay hot. The internal combustion engine is sort of always running and overheating, but yeah, this is delightful. This is so nice. We went for our stupid walk for our stupid mental health this morning, and it was, oh God.
It was delightful.
I just was walking. We walk like a back road that's very, very quiet. It's tons of trees. There's almost no traffic. And I just spread my arms out and was like, yes, give it to me. Yeah. I was one with nature for about half a second. That's about all the time I want to be with nature.
That's your entire communing with nature, right?
I found the bird's nest. And I kept going, look, there's a bird's nest. Look,
found two of them.
Nest. I know. And then I got like obsessed with the idea of finding more, and then I couldn't find any more.
Yeah, that's always what happens.
Yeah. Yeah, you're yawning too early. We still got a ways to go. We still got a ways to go. So. I will say, because I don't know if anybody here even remembers us mentioning this, because now it's been a few weeks. We do still intend to switch up our streaming time, because this time was great while it was novel and new, and now it's like, we'd like to find a better time, but I'm still waiting.
I know.
And I did follow up today by email.
Okay.
But for the first time, I didn't get an email back on the same day, so either they're busy or something else is going on. So, hi DS Bunny. So yeah, because I am beyond ready to get the 15-year-old settled in his little thing he's gonna be doing, and get us settled. Hi Maven, I am going through, and I don't know, somebody who knows something about Mercury in the microwave can maybe tell me. I'm going through some sort of something where I want to change all the things. Now, I've got enough experience on this planet to know you don't change all the things all at once if you can help it. But because you and I have talked about changing up some things with the Kinkery, thekinkery.com. I was looking into some things to change with who we do the audio podcast through, like the hosting company we use. I haven't done anything with that. Then we're already talking about how we're going to be changing up our Patreon membership for next year. Yeah. So like, I'm just in this period of what do we need to adjust and shift and change? And so changing our streaming time, not going back to noon, because we have learned that's not the best time for us anymore, but not necessarily not staying at 7, because it's not quite the best time for us either. Finding the Goldilocks of times. Yeah, like I'm excited for it. Like I'm ready for it. Hi, Rara. Hi, Enchanted Wings.
The winds of change.
The winds of change. Mm-hmm. It is officially 7 o'clock, so we will officially get started.
What happens next?
I'm going to start doing the part so that you can know what happens next.
Hello, everyone.
Whatever. We like informed consent. Don't ask me questions. You'll get an answer. Anyway, as you can tell from the title, we're doing a BDSM Reddit response episode because we need something light. And I wanted to do this when we were trying to have hurricanes. So now there are no more hurricanes for now, knock on wood. We're here to do this.
Keep it that way.
If you enjoy this, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And go ahead and ring that notification bell to get updates and new content.
While also singing, hopefully in your head, Ring My Bell. If you don't know that song, you're probably younger than me. And actually, that song might be older than I am. I just listened to a lot of my parents' music as a kid. I'm already rambling. We're not even into it yet.
Haven't even got to a question yet. No.
So, all that being said, just do what Daddy says. After you finish singing that song in your head, life is easier when we just do what Daddy says. And you can go ahead and hit...
Can I click the magic button?
You can do whatever you need to do with magic buttons. You're very good at that.
Take it away.
Did you... I'm not good at innuendo. I think you completely missed that.
No,
Oh, then you didn't even give me a look for the satisfaction?
Nope.
Podcast listeners, we were talking about how good JB is with magic buttons. And then he just didn't even respond. Kept his old poker face. Is that what it's going to be like this week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably is. Okay, let's get into things. Before we get into anything, I would like to thank this week's sponsor, not us, the Floor app. Floor is a dating app for safely exploring one's kinks and desires. It is not a kink-specific dating app, but it is a kink-friendly dating app. They do not have a problem with kinky folks showing up and being there. They say, the way they say it is they don't draw age, gender, race, or other lines. Anyone is welcome to embark on an adventure. So you're open and honest with yourself and the people you're connecting with, and also that you respect boundaries. We love a place that understands that boundaries are meant to be respected.
Yes.
How do I put this? I lost my words literally in the middle of the thought. I am so good at this. Every user is verified, and you have control over what kind of stuff you receive from folks. They also do not allow to, like, the sitting, like, the places where you're allowed to show your tits, y'all. So they don't allow certain things to be sent at all. There is a free option, and then if you want more, there is a paid option. So you can download it for free to check it out, see if it's, your vibe, if you're like, yeah, I like this space. And then if you want all of the functionality, then you can choose to sign up and pay. The link is in the places, if you would like to check that out. Yeah, I the last time I was in it, so I signed up right before the last time that they sponsored, because I wanted to check the vibe. The very next day, I don't do dating apps, y'all. I didn't have to. I came up before. That was like the only way to meet somebody. If you want to meet somebody the way I did, you're going to have to go back to 2012 and start a blog. Okay. So, sorry. Within a day or so, I had a whole bunch of people that they had like shown that they were like, this person is interested in your profile. And I just did like the same little selfie that's not my boobs, just with short hair, not this color. Sorry. Hope nobody feels like I'm catfishing them. And it was pretty fast. I was like, okay. But I also like the fact that they didn't know I could see who they were. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't,
And what I signed up too, and I actually was able to link our accounts.
Yes, that was
we were
cool.
A couple, yeah.
That's the other thing I like about Floor, because yes, you can be single and monogamous. You can be non-monogamous, but looking for a new partner or other partners. And you get to connect with potential partners if they also want to be on that app. You get to designate which one are you? Are you monogamous or non-monogamous? Yeah. And I like that. The more information in my opinion, the more information you can put out there, the more hopefully you weed out the ones you don't want. They just self-select out and go, oh, that's not what I'm looking for. And then you have a little less, to deal with. Yeah. So if you are looking for an app that is not like the other apps, and you don't necessarily need it to be kink focused, just kink friendly, kink aware, check out Floor. You can try it for free, download it for free. Link is in the places. Thank you to Floor for sponsoring.
Thank you.
Okay. We have announcements. Announcements.
Announce.
There will not be a Monday episode next week. Again, we're taking a second Monday off.
And we'll talk more about that in the bonus section.
But it's a little bit, we had to do it for our mental health.
Yeah.
We are here doing this episode because we wanted to, because it's a fun one, but trying to do a little bit more was just one ask too many for us right now. And it was killing me because it wasn't even going to be a Q&A episode. We're going to do a review. We hadn't done a review in ages.
Right.
Lord, I accidentally made our Instagram blow up, and now all kinds of people would like us to do reviews. It's weird. It's been a hot minute, y'all. And here we are. So nothing on Monday. So if you are like, where the hell did they go? We're getting back into it. We had stuff come up. We'll talk about it later. Yeah. The second announcement is that this Friday, October 18th, the day this episode comes out for audio podcast listeners, 9:30 p.m. is our monthly live stream. We hang out. It gets random and weird, and also we answer kinky questions.
True, we
do a kinky Q&A. It starts 9:30 p.m. Eastern. We do our best, barring anything weird, to go until midnight. That is probably as late as we will ever go, but certainly this weekend, because we're working this weekend, and I don't mind. I'm excited to be doing that.
Yep.
But, that'll be on YouTube, 9:30 p.m., live stream. You can come hang out with us. We make great background noise. Also, I've had people go, I had stuff I needed to do, but I just put you on the background. My feelings aren't hurt. Put me on in the background. Do that for all the episodes. It's fine. But this one, there's no set topic. We have talked about bacon. We have talked about pie. We have talked about way too much about Star Trek and Star Wars. So books, like whatever comes up, is very random. We call it a virtual munch because in a way it is. We're all just showing up, and whatever we talk about. Sometimes it's kinky, sometimes it's not. So that is the announcements.
Right.
Okay, so we're doing a BDSM Reddit response. It has been a hot minute since we've done one. I found one in the BDSM Am I the Asshole subreddit run by our friend Princess Rara. And then the rest are from the BDSM Advice subreddit. And the last one, I can never guarantee what will make me rant, y'all. But I did have a little attitude about it as I was reading it. So I'm going to believe the person asked that question in good faith, but I've got thoughts. So let's get into it. We're going to just go down the list.
Just dive right in, huh?
See what comes up. So,
okay.
First one, why are all these things on the screen and what is happening? Okay. This one is a long one, so bear with us. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for not wanting my dom to have a say in my financial standing / saving ability?
Okay.
So here's the backstory. I had a dom who lives 2 hours away from me, and I've seen him 2 times, both for a full weekend, arrive Friday evening, leave Sunday afternoon. So the first weekend was hard on me as it was more than I bargained for, but he was very good about apologizing for overstepping, ignoring my signs of distress, getting drunk and hurting me, and overall just not leaving me with the best experience. I felt hurt as much as I was uncomfortable with some of what went down, so I gave him a second chance. The second weekend I saw him, it was much more calm and focused more on my pleasure and regaining my trust. He booked us a really nice room. We bathed together, and it was much easier to trust him after that. We had a lot of good talks after that weekend about how much I appreciated everything. So about a month ago, I had reached out saying I'd like to meet up again. The last time I saw him was July, and that I was ready to try more things, knowing he would listen to me more and be more careful. We talked about everything we wanted for a few weeks and decided on a date. I let him know my cards were maxed out, so I'd e-transfer him money for food for us that weekend if he could use his card. This started a mild argument about me going broke for sex. I thought it was uncalled for as I'm 21 and have been financially independent and capable for several years. He said he was only looking out for me. I thanked him but told him not to worry and moved on. This morning, 4 hours before I was supposed to get on a bus, he asked me to pick up some stuff, and I joked about being broke and having $2.51 to my name. I do really have no money, but I'd paid my fare off the trip and made sure I had everything I'd need. He then said he was no longer comfortable doing this knowing how broke I was. Something to note. I've been off work for 2 months for medical leave and have been collecting EI. I'm thinking that must be like some sort of temporary funds or whatever. Mm-hmm. I'm due to get more of that on October 1st and frequently run out of money before I'm paid. I always have everything I need. I know how to handle everything, and honestly, I enjoy shopping and going out. I still live with a family, so my rent is minimal. I don't have to buy groceries. I am extremely lucky to be in this position. Anyway, I told him how I didn't want to continue this as I felt he was taking a level of control I didn't want, telling me he only wanted to see me again once I started saving money. And he flipped at me for painting him as a, quote, controlling asshole, even though I had explained I felt my trust had been broken and it was unfair. He said, I'm not going to try to get you to understand shit since you think I'm nothing more than another controlling asshole and have obviously built an image in your head. I make it very clear I don't like taking advantage of people, and I made it clear early on that if you don't have enough money to do this comfortably, then we can postpone. You were less than the lowest paper note from bankruptcy. That's not comfortable, end quote. That's all what he said. Back to the person. Now, hear me out. Having dollars in my account, dollars in my account is normal for me. It's not uncomfortable or scary, as I'm lucky to know there's food at home and a roof over my head. But despite me explaining all this, he still wouldn't see me. I had spent $100 in bus tickets that can't be refunded and bought many supplies that I would not use on my own and had been preparing for weeks. After our disagreement on how it was handled, he blocked me, and honestly, I hope he stays gone. In my opinion, that was unfair. Too long didn't read. Dom won't see me because I'm too broke to live what he sees as comfortable, even though he's aware I have practically no bills and have been off work for months and still was making this work. Am I the one in the wrong here? My opinion is financial should not contribute to if you want to sleep with me or not, regardless of if you're trying to, quote, help. I think it's just all bad from the top.
Yeah. Yeah. There are people who do incorporate financial called dominance, I guess, in their relationship.
Sure.
It's not for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
It is not for everybody. And, she seems to have an understanding of what, or they.
Go for they, yeah, there was no.
That's okay.
No specification.
They kind of have an understanding. And to me, them saying, I don't want this, he overstepped the bound.
Well, see, there was no negotiation here.
No, none.
There was no negotiation of here's what makes me comfortable, here's what makes, what are you comfortable with?
Mm-hmm.
If, it sounds to me like the Dom thought that all they had to say was, if you don't have enough money, let's postpone. And then that was the end of the conversation, and they had made themselves clear.
Yeah.
Clearly they had not. This person was still planning for this visit.
Yeah.
And it's only a few hours out that they call it off. That is suspicious to me. I think that's less about, oh, you don't have enough money, and more about, because if they immediately blocked after this argument, did you just not want the visit, and now you're feeling pressured, and now you're like lashing out and making it their fault for being too broke for you? Like, everybody's going to have a different opinion about this. I don't think there's a right opinion about this, but my opinion at this moment is, until we are in a legit dynamic and my money has any bearing on your life, it doesn't matter how much money I have in my account. Now, I do think it's okay for him to say, we haven't negotiated this. I don't really want to pay, can't or don't want to pay for things for you. But if you have that conversation like adults, then you can, work around it. It could be maybe he couldn't afford to pay for their food and lashed out and got upset. Who knows? But yeah, living completely separate lives, only seeing each other every few months for just a week at a time. You don't get a single fucking say over the money in my account. And if I am comfortable with the life I'm leading and getting to and fro and taking care of myself, I think the only place where absolutely this Dom had every right to like go, I don't want to do that, was will you pay for the food on your card and I'll send the money back to you. Not that I think that that's unreasonable for somebody to have that conversation, go, hey, can we do this? I also think it's not unreasonable for somebody else to go, no, I don't want to do that. You don't know their relationship with money. You don't know how they feel about feeling like people owe them or trying to get paid back. Like money is such a touchy thing. But I don't think this was about money.
Maybe not.
I think it ended up being a handy excuse of, I just don't want to see you. This isn't easy, fun, and carefree, and I don't have to have any responsibility. You're bringing an issue to me where I'm going to have a sense of responsibility, and I don't want that. But instead of the Dom just saying something like that, it became about the money.
Yeah. And to me, it shows a certain immaturity on the other person, on the dominant, because, people have arguments.
Right.
All right. Whether you're friends, whether you're a couple, whether you're married, whatever, the people are going to argue. It's just human nature. And, you have healthy communication and healthy arguing, because there is such a thing as,
you and I
unhealthy.
Disagree more frequently than I think either of us wish, quite frankly.
And to just block someone and
that's the tell right there, because this wasn't I am really worried about you and I am uncomfortable with this, and or I also cannot help pay for the things that you can't afford, or I'm unwilling to because of my own reasons that that I think many people might find reasonable for somebody to go, I don't want to pay for somebody that's like not my long-term kind of person. Instead of having that adult conversation, it becomes, well, this is your fault. And with only so you're not that worried about a person's money if you cancel a trip on a non-refundable ticket.
Yeah.
But also, I'm happy this person did not go there just because they had a non-refundable ticket.
Right.
Because who knows what might have played out.
That could have been a bigger mistake.
Right.
Yes.
The red flags, though, were long before this conversation about money. It was that very first visit. Like, I understand going too hard too fast the first time you're together. Been there, done that.
We kind of did that too, yeah.
But please let me go back to where I immediately disliked this individual because it was ignoring signs of distress, getting drunk and hurting me. Overall, just not leaving me with the best experience. The getting drunk alone, I'm like, because you can miss signs of distress with a new partner. To me, that means you just slow the hell down and become extra careful. But okay.
Right.
So I feel like there were already signs that this was not probably a good situation to begin with. Now, out of the actual question asked, I know my opinion. Is this person who is pissed that the whole thing got, like, not letting the Dom control the money or have a say over the money, are they the asshole? The person who asked the question, do you think they're the asshole?
No.
Right. I don't.
No.
The thing is, yeah, they're definitely not the asshole, because until it is negotiated, nobody has a say over your money. But the way this story plays out, this person was not trying to control about the money. I really think this was something else. I think there was something else at play, and the money was just a convenient reason. Personally.
It's possible.
Personally.
It's entirely possible.
Okay. Next one. Now we're into the BDSM advice subreddit. You saw the headline.
I saw the headline, and that was enough for me right there. Damn it!
You always got to get context,
I know.
Just here we go.
I know.
My dom has multiple subs, but doesn't want me to do the same. They say, I know the answers are going to say talk to him, and I absolutely will, but I just wanted to get some outside perspectives as well. I've been seeing a dom for a while. He's great, and things are getting a little relationship-y outside of the dynamic also. He has one other sub and is looking for more. He doesn't mind if I date other men, but he doesn't want me engaging in anything DS related with anyone other than him. This doesn't seem fair, as he does those things with others, and it also limits my options, as I am fairly consistently bruised and marked, which turns off a lot of vanilla men. Yeah, I can see that. Anyway, just looking at people's thoughts on this. If you're a sub, what would you do? And if you're a dom, do you have this rule, and why? I don't like the some for me and none for thee kind of thing.
It's good for me, but not for you.
Right.
Yeah.
I can do this, but you can't. And here's the thing. The bare surface, it's an incompatibility thing.
Yeah.
If you are meeting somebody and you're deciding, do I want to be in a relationship with them? And non-monogamy is fine, but somebody has these really strict rules for you that they don't have for themselves.
Yeah.
That's an incompatibility. Go find somebody who wants to live under that rule and does not have a problem with that, because those people exist. Your pool's probably limited, but they exist.
True.
But we've been together. We're talking about this, and now this is how.
Nope.
Well, we can't be done now. That was 30 seconds. That was too easy. What are your thoughts?
I mean, my thoughts are, it's not fair. I mean, even like you with us. All right. I do go out, I date, I see. You can't.
Right.
No.
You
can't. I don't want you to.
Yeah, that wouldn't work.
Right? I mean, you're in theory, but,
It's a choice I'm making. I have the option. And we know I'm going to go for toppy people anyway. My personal choices is I can't imagine having another partner that I call daddy. Like, the title label honorific is sort of, it's very meaningful to me. You are daddy. Could there be another caregiver type? Maybe. I mean, I can't imagine it, but that doesn't mean it's impossible. But yeah, it is exactly like if you're like, okay, I'm going to go see all these subs and bottoms, and I'm going to live my best top life out here.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, no doms.
Yeah,
no tops.
you can date, but
only these people I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And that says more about the person setting the rule than anything else. Why are you so insecure in your own dominance that you can't let them experience dom, top, whatever energy with somebody else? Are you worried that they'll start comparing and find you lacking and wanting? These would be my questions. Yeah, I think it's fine. It's fine to have that preference if that preference gets laid out as part of we're figuring out if we're compatible.
Yeah.
This is who I'm looking for and how I would like life to be. Because here's the thing. You can want life to be like that all you want and then never find a person willing to give it to you. But that's okay. You get to want what you want. But to just say, yeah, this is how it is. If you're going to be my sub, sucks to suck. I would not be telling the submissive to be talking to no damn body. I'd be telling them maybe you just need to lose their number and tell them to have a good life and go live your best kinky life with somebody else. And I know in the non-monogamous side of the world, in and out of the kink community, people have very strong feelings about rule setting and boundary setting in non-monogamous relationships about what one partner is sort of, air quote allowed to decree for somebody else, and that is not a boundary. That's a rule you have set for somebody else, and even in power exchange, some rules aren't allowed to be set, right?
Yeah.
The boundary would be, if it's a boundary, the dom would go, if you date other doms, I cannot continue doing this. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore. That's a fair boundary to have, but to make it a rule in your power exchange,
Yeah.
no,
Nope.
no, I'm not. No. But and it's my non-trusting nature. What are you so insecure about that you can't handle a submissive of yours experiencing dominance of somebody else?
And I'd be curious if he's that way with the other.
That would be a good question. Probably, though. I have come across them online, and when I mean come across them, I'm like seen them out there in the wild. I do not interact with people in general, but certainly not those types who just collect subs. Like, what are they actually doing? There comes a point in time that you're either cookie cutting, stuff where it's all the same for everybody, and so then it's probably a little less meaningful, or you're saying you have all these subs and you really do not have all these subs, because everybody has a limit in just how much human interaction at that level that they can do and maintain a life and like have a job and pay your fucking bills and mow your lawn or whatever, right? Like, so I tend to give side eye to these certain types of doms who not doing it on a professional level, not keeping every relationship casual, but are just collecting the submissives, and trying to run their lives at this level. Like, I don't, I'm giving side eye every time. Look, somebody's going to show up in a comment somewhere telling me how they're the one exception and they can do this. Great. You're the exception, not the rule. That's just what that is. Also, I might give you side eye. Just saying. Just saying. So, that was actually kind of... Yeah, the moment I saw that title, I was like, oh, yeah, we're okay. Here's the next one. And this one I think is interesting because I think it's one of those where the question they're asking is not actually, that's not really what we're talking about here. So here we go.
Okay.
Is there a way to learn to like impact play more? My boyfriend and I, submissive, have been exploring a bit of a dom-sub relationship. However, he's into impact play and I am not, actually. I'm a real wimp when it comes to pain. I do want to please him, though. Is there any way for me to get more into it? I do sometimes like the stinging afterwards because it reminds me of what I went through for him, but I really can't last long and I want to do better to please him. Could I just be giving up too soon? Am I a bad sub for not just putting up with more? He hasn't even made me bruise except for 2 hits during one session. I think he's been going pretty easy on me. I see posts or comments where subs are taking a lot of hits and getting very bruised, and I feel like a bad sub. We're pretty early in the dynamic, though. He hasn't made me feel bad or even complained, but I know he wants to do more. So the question is not really the question. You know this, right? Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. I if a person is not a masochist, there's not really anything you can. No. There's no pain training.
No.
So to speak. So, go ahead.
No, you had thoughts.
Go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
For the record, he's telling me to speak. Okay, I'm not just interrupting.
Baby girl, talk.
So here's the thing. You can, as a submissive, decide to endure something for a partner. That's a choice you can make.
True.
And you find the pleasure that you get from doing the thing, from the after effects, from whatever.
From
and
that's the service of
whatever. Like whatever it is that speaks to your bottom sub heart, and you're like, yes, to get this, I will do this, I will allow this to happen. But also you can do impact that's not even really that painful. Like,
true. It
could be that they don't like certain types of pain. It could be they don't like certain. It could be they just don't like impact play. I mean, let's just put that out there. That's very valid.
And that's absolutely true because some people like thud, some people like sting. And
I mean, you and I have done impact play it feels a little niche because it's not real common, but it did not actually physically hurt. It was literally it's a punching thing that a former friend of ours showed him, and it's not painful to me. There's nothing about it is painful, but it's this very pleasant, thuddy sensation that I like. So if I was telling somebody who said they did not like impact play because they do not like the sensation they're feeling, I would say, okay, if this is something you're willing to try, you need to try more sensations. Also, there's nothing wrong with a partner, a top or a dom, striking you lightly. Like little taps and smacks can count. Is it as much as maybe the dom has experienced in the past, would love to experience? No, but you and I've had this conversation. There are some partners you've had that you loved playing with them because you could wail on them in ways you cannot wail on me.
Correct.
But that doesn't mean you don't like what you can do with me.
Right.
Right. Because the real thing here... Go ahead.
I think the thing... The underlying thing that sticks out to me is the fact that this person is comparing themselves to other subs who have all these bruises, and no, you can't do that. Be you. Do what you enjoy. Do what you like.
Who gives a fuck what other submissives are doing? Right. Because part of it, let's be real. Some people can get wailed on and never bruise and mark. Does that somehow mean that they went through less impact? No, of course not. Some people, you can look at them cross-eyed and now they have a red mark on their ass. And they barely, for somebody else's perspective, quote, barely got touched, right? So what other people are doing has no fucking bearing on what you do, what you're doing.
Yeah.
If what you're doing is something, and this is the first thing a person has to get through their head. Is this something I want to be doing? Submissives have to be very careful because that desire to please a dom can sometimes outweigh your own fucking wants, needs, and boundaries.
And safety, too.
Right. And so sometimes you will agree to things that you genuinely hate and wish you were not doing because you want to make your partner happy. You think it makes them happy. A good partner does not want to do shit with you that you don't want to do. Okay.
Yeah, no.
They don't want to do something that you are dreading every time it happens. And I am not talking about specific scenarios and scenes that are about the sadism and masochism of, taunting and teasing and kind of consensually making somebody a little miserable. That's not what I'm talking about. If it is a kink act that you just fucking hate and don't want, the right partner for you doesn't want to be doing it to you. That's not fun for them either, right? So that's the first thing that somebody's got to get through their head. Do I actually want to be doing this? If what you want, and there's nothing wrong also with wanting, I think, for a submissive to want to give their partner something that they want, but there's got to be a balance there. So I do things that JB likes that I don't love, that if you gave me the option, I'd probably go, yeah, no, I'd like to skip that, please. Why do I do it? Because I like to make him happy, because I like to endure things. I totally relate to that whole getting the sting, knowing I went through it. I think that's a valid reason to do shit, as long as other needs are being met and everything isn't just about you enduring. Unless you are that type of person that gets off on that. Those people exist too. It's complicated is my point. The thing this person is doing to fuck themselves over is comparing themselves to what other people are doing.
I mean, saying that is just like some people would say, oh, I'm a terrible sub because I can't get to subspace.
I've heard that before.
Yeah.
What the fuck's that got to do with anything?
Exactly.
I know. And that's the beauty of the internet and online spaces, is that we get to connect and see it, that we're not alone. The downside, one of many, is that we compare. We go, oh, I'm not doing it that way, so am I doing something wrong? No. As long as what you're doing is consensual and it's, risk aware. Right. So if somebody wanted to see if they liked impact play more than they think that they do, I would, whatever you're currently doing, back off on the intensity. Okay? There's no wrong level to start at. A light tap that does not create any pain is just as valid as hauling back and smacking somebody, right?
And the thing too, if it's not so much pain, what about having some clothing on?
Yeah, you were using a paddle last night that usually I can't do for very long. I actually had the covers over my ass, and I was able to go way longer. Right. That can also blunt it. The other thing is to try different things. Has it been a hand? Well, try an object. Has it been wood? Well, try a different material. Has it been God help you if it's been a cane and that's what you started with? Back the fuck off. Okay? Right. That's a thing. Yeah. if what you genuinely want to explore is, can I enjoy impact play for impact play's sake, then you just lightly and slowly you try different sensations and different tools and different methods. Because me standing up and bent over and getting smacked on the ass is a completely different sensation than me laying flat across JB's lap. So there's positioning. There's a lot of things somebody can do to go, well, is there an impact I like? But ultimately, it's valid to just not like it.
And let's just, even with the hand, okay? If you hit and you come up or you come down with your hit, you come straight in, and then there's if you hit and then you keep the pressure on for a second.
There's lots of methods.
Of different ways to change it up.
So it gets really complex. Yes, there are ways to test to see, can I like impact play? Because, and that's the other thing, it is okay to be very picky and specific about the sensation you like. There's nothing wrong with that. The way it works for me is, if you're asking me what I like thud, I like slow. I don't necessarily need a bunch of pain. I just like it consistent and rhythmic because I zone out to it. My brain shuts off. It's like a deep tissue massage. If you're asking my preference about impact, I don't care what the implement is. That's what the fuck I like. What I will endure is the stuff I don't like. It's the sting. It's a swat of a cane within very defined specific limits. Now, if I'm in my masochist headspace, it's fine. Be rough. Do stuff I wouldn't like in other times, because that's, for me, that's not about the impact so much as it is about whatever else is going on. But then there were things I will endure. I will endure because I have a sense of pride that I got through it. I will endure because I know this is making JB's little sadistic daddy side just so fucking happy. And that brings me joy too. But it is a balance. It can't be all what I want or all what you want.
No.
It's got to be
a mix.
Some happy ground in the middle. But it is, impact play is not the only goddamn thing people can do together.
True.
You can go, nope, we're not doing that, and go find other things you like. And that, to me, is more meaningful than trying to get to some artificial level in your head of what you think other people are doing because that's what the picture says or that's what they say on the internet. Can we all just go to any situation where we don't know people, assuming that what we're seeing is fake? Because sometimes it's gonna be, right? Somebody's gonna say, oh my God, look at this bruising, and they've edited their picture. Sometimes they're gonna go, oh my God, this was the roughest thing I've ever been through, and that will be true for them, but you don't know what that means for them. You know what that means from your perspective. You're thinking, oh my God, the roughest, that must be this, that, and the other. And it could be that person marks real easily, so it doesn't take much for them. Right. You literally don't know. So we got to stop the fucking comparison game, because it hurts everybody.
Yeah, it does.
The thing that makes me feel really good about this particular question is the sub going, my dom's not trying to pressure me.
Yes.
They want me to have a good time. So this is about what they think is true about being a submissive and what they've internalized. And
And Silent feels that there's a PDF guide in this whole discussion here. So,
there is. It's on our Etsy shop. Link in the places. Okay. Next one. Okay, I think this one will hit close to home for folks.
Okay.
How to deal with a change in dynamics. For a while, I was over the moon, on top of the world, ultra happy. It was because I had become a stay-at-home mom and my sex drive was up very high. My day was spent thinking about how to please my husband sexually and non-sexually. I felt looked after and very satisfied. He seemed a bit tired, but also the happiest he's ever been. Our relationship was #goals. Not my words, people would actually tell us. Anyhow, I had to go back to work full-time, and it has completely blown the dynamics out of the water. I can't see my husband as a sexy dom daddy when I'm providing just as much as he is. I'm always tired, and we've gone down to having sex only once or twice a week. It was once or twice a day, free use. I'm frustrated. It's not his fault. It's not my fault. It can't be helped that everything is expensive and I need to work. So my question is, can we fix this, or do I need to quit work? Okay, look, if you need money to survive, please don't quit work.
Yeah, no.
The moment you can, go for it. I fucking support that shit. If you're trying to survive, just go your ass to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
But also, yeah, it sucks to have had the dynamic. You were like, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
And then life fucks you up.
Have the rug pulled out from under you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's tough.
I think there needs to be time and space to feel okay with just being pissed, sad, disappointed, whatever the emotions are.
It's like a grieving.
Sure. You had a thing you really liked and you can't have it right now.
And it's gone. So yeah, you're going to be going through a grieving process. Yep. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. The thing is, you're going to have to come out of that, and I know it's not easy. It is almost one of those things, people don't like the patience word.
No.
All right. Well, there's another word that goes with it called change. Change sucks.
Change sucks. I hate it.
Change sucks, but it happens. So, you're going to have to go through that grieving process. And when you come out the other end of that, you're both going to need to sit down and talk.
Yeah, because at this point, you had what at the time was probably your ideal. This was exactly how you wanted it to go. Life is not letting you have that. So now it's time to go, what can I not live without?
Yeah.
What is the thing that if I can get this, I might not be the happiest I've ever been, but I will be satisfied.
Yeah. There's you've got to find a middle ground. Mm-hmm. Okay, because for the time being, the way things are with their lives, they're not going to have what they had. It's just impossible. But you got to find that, got to talk, got to find that middle ground, and you know what? From what you're saying, you're tired, you got this, you got that. Yeah, buddy, life. Oh boy, life. And you're probably going to have to adjust and several times in the process.
Oh yeah, it's a constant influx kind of thing, especially as life will continue to life at you.
Yeah,
I have to do this, or otherwise I will run screaming into the night and never come back. I have to believe it's all ebb and flow.
Yeah,
and how long your ebb is and how long your flow is, that's pure fucking luck, and nobody can predict. We are in an ebb of life right now, and we hate it, and it sucks.
Yep.
And some days, some weeks, we are not our best DSE selves. There have been months where it was not peak performance. And then we have a moment, we get a moment, we make a moment, and we come back to ourselves, and we have a really good moment. And what I'm finally, after all these years of being pissed off about the ebb we're in right now, is that I actually really appreciate when we come together in those brief moments.
Well,
because now I know what it's like to not get hardly anything.
Well, you know what? We have entered our Florida fall, and
take me out to
you out to the wood shop.
I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you. You have to make sure the windows are down because the kid's home now. He will come running if he hears me scream.
True.
Just saying. Or I guess that's the new challenge. Just don't make a sound.
Right.
I'm a little scared of that, but I'm game for it. So the way things were, you may never get back to exactly what that is, but you eventually may get back to some version of that. In the meantime, it's about finding what can be good enough that you can just kind of keep things going, knowing that it won't be like that every fucking day. It won't be like that every week. There will be times where you can't do shit. There'll be times when you can do more. There'll be times when you do some third middle combination, and it's imperfect and it's messy and sometimes it's unpredictable. And if you're like me and you don't like unpredictability, that sucks. But it's also kind of the nature of things. It's why, and I would never say this to somebody going through it, like to their face, like in a judgy way, because that's not what anybody needs in a moment like this. But it is why I do repeatedly talk about the reality of what power exchange is when the fantasy is no longer an option. New relationship energy, the peak of your negotiation, everything's hot and heavy, everything's going well. I'm glad for anybody who gets that experience. But the reality is that reality will come crashing in like the Kool-Aid Man. And you're going to go, wait, this perfect scenario we've been able to live in, the sort of this honeymoon new relationship energy period, it's not there anymore, and it's not working, and life won't even give us the space to, and that is the reality of it. That is, for some people, they take a complete break from things because it's too much, or they don't want it if they can't have it in the exact way they want it, and that's valid and fair.
Yeah.
Others, and we are this way, we just adjust. We just find the things that we can hold on to as meaningful for our individual kink selves. We find the points of connection that are enough for us. They are not absolute. They are not peak performance. They are not our ideal, but they're enough so that we can still, think about our dynamic and go, yeah, this is where I want to be, and we're doing what we want to do, right? And then sometimes you have to make the opportunity, and sometimes you get to come across the opportunity. When the opportunity comes up to have something that feels like the good old days, we grab on with both fucking hands and hold on for the ride for as long as we have it. Now, our current life is like we get an evening. We get midnight sex. That was a good night. We get, 10 minutes with a paddle. For us, that works. It won't work for everybody. And that is okay. You have to find what some people are going to go, I don't want crumbs. I want all, or I want none. Cool. Fine. You make sure your partner's on board, because that's going to be misery for somebody. But I think the rest of us just kind of go, this is not what I thought I was signing up for, but I love him as my partner. I want him in my life. I want what we can have as we have it. I don't care that it's not ideal, because ideal was temporary to begin with. Ideal was kind of fake. Ideal for us, our ideal amount of fuckery and kinky sex was when we were long distance and on those weekends we could get together, because it was this one time you could kind of go, there are no responsibilities. I've taken a week off of work. I'm in a different city. My real life is not even a factor here.
Right. And
that is something that until we're empty nesters and somehow find that money tree in the backyard, we might not get again. So it's, what do we build together? What do we have that's solid, that doesn't need some of the outside stuff that's not always within our control, right? That is what, for long-term relationships who are trying to live it, that's my recommendation. It's, if you don't want to give it up completely, but you're unhappy with what you don't have, I think you just make yourself miserable. You got to find what is enough. Whatever that bare minimum is. Yeah. That's just my thoughts on it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go.
All right.
Am I really submissive? I'm a newbie submissive for over a year and have only played with 2 doms casually. I realized from this I want something intimate and hopefully long term. Last week, I connected with a dom on FET and we exchanged numbers. He's great and very committed to building something long term. He's very attentive and eager to find out more about me. We're still getting to know one another, but we've already made agreements that I must fulfill. Daily calls, daily pictures, checking in during the day. These are not hard tasks at all, but I'm a bit disorganized at times and have forgotten to do these tasks already. He rightfully called me out on these, and even though I understand where he's coming from and immediately apologized, I'm feeling a bit of resistance. I've not been in a relationship really, so I've never had to prioritize like this. This made me think that, am I really submissive in this aspect? He's spoken about how he eventually wants a dynamic with a sub where there's total power exchange. I've never experienced this before, and I feel nervous about giving myself like this, especially as we're long distance. I'm afraid that I'm going to struggle to be consistent, and I don't want to hurt or disappoint him. Am I right for this? They've been talking a week.
I know.
And this is where we're at.
Yeah.
We're both like your mom who's your dad who's like, you're too young for this.
Right.
The old people are like, what are you doing? Sorry. We're both speechless because it's like a week and you've already got like a list of things to do.
Yeah.
And we're talking about total power exchange in the future? It's been a week. Do you even know this person's name yet? I do not want to laugh at a newbie submissive because it is very easy to fall into this.
I know.
But I do not like that after a week, I know somebody for a week, only been doing, trying to figure out themselves as a submissive for a year, been doing this with this person for a week. They've got a list of things they have to do every day. I want to know what the dom's doing every day. And because they can't keep up.
Yeah.
Am I really submissive?
Well, for one thing, what did they say, a year?
Yeah, they've newbie submissive for over a year.
And only played
with doms
casually.
Right. So probably no power exchange experience.
Correct.
To speak of.
That person's got some learning to do.
So much learning to do. And see, an experienced, responsible dom is going to be like, oh, yeah, you're kind of new. You've never done power exchange before. Let's talk about what the fuck this even means.
Yeah.
Let's get to know one another.
Right.
Let me find out what the fuck you know.
Right.
What the fuck?
Where are you at during comparison to where I am? Are we working towards the same goals to build a relationship?
Do I like you enough as a human being that you get any fucking say over my life?
Right.
Am I even invested in this yet? A week? A week? And also somebody mentioned in the live chat, and you're damn straight, a week is not enough time to change a lifetime of fucking habits either. No. And if you're not yet invested enough, so I want to be careful here because I don't think this is true for everybody. But in my experience, as somebody who struggles to change routines and to incorporate new habits, the more excited I am about it, sometimes the easier it is to at least start.
That makes sense, yeah.
But the excitement for me personally, this will be different for everybody, tends to come from the investment from it. But also, there was never a time when we finally did start incorporating things that you were not giving me immediate feedback. There was positive reinforcement for anything and everything I did, which for me personally, because I think this is how I'm probably wired, was enough of a dopamine hit that I was like, haha, I can remember to do that again because I get good thing. Push, lever, get treat. You know what I mean? I am trainable. But that wasn't the first fucking week.
No, it wasn't.
That's I can see somebody getting really excited and thinking, oh my God, this person's probably amazing from a week of conversation. That's entirely possible. I can even see them thinking that they want to do this or that they, air quote here, should do this or ought to do this. But I also think, to me, the first week you hadn't even fully negotiated shit yet.
We were still getting to know each other.
Thank you. So to go, I couldn't keep. I want to know what his responsibilities were, because it's one thing. It's easy to give a submissive task left, right, and center. What the fuck was he doing? What were his responsibilities? Because if I knew that, I would know, are we dealing with somebody who just went way too fucking fast? They both just went too fast, got too excited. That happens. Or are we dealing with somebody who went, oh, you don't know shit, so I can do and say what I want because you don't know any better yet. And so he's supposed to get whatever he wants. What's he doing as the dom?
And they don't say really what experience the dom has.
And or what the experience the dom said they have.
Yeah.
But I think the rule of thumb is, look, if you want to sext, phone sex, whatever the kids do these days, I don't know, do you fuck on Zoom? I don't know. If you want to do that after a week, I will never get in your fucking way. Get your rocks off. But we're talking about a power dynamic with rules and responsibilities to follow, and potentially they don't say that there's punishment or consequences, and I'm grateful because after a fucking week you don't know enough for there to be shit going on. But it does, if he's calling them out for not having done their thing, there is at least that quote consequence of the dom's displeasure, right? That is a consequence all on its own. No, it's not been long enough for that. You don't even know what you don't know yet to be able to go, okay, I am ready to change my life and fucking habits for you to do and also, first of all, week, no, too fucking soon. But we start with one thing. We change one habit or routine.
Yeah.
We get comfortable with doing one thing, especially if we are a person who struggles with changing routines and habits. It helps if you know yourself well enough for that. Not everybody does.
Yeah, you don't try to do the whole kit and caboodle in 1 week.
Because you're setting yourself up for failure. And then is the sub being made to feel guilty by the dom? Well, then what the fuck does the dom know? Because either inexperienced or a bullshit artist to not realize, oh, this is too much too soon. First of all, it's too soon. It's too soon.
Yeah.
It's a
Right.
week.
Right.
It's a week.
Yeah.
It's a week.
Yeah.
That's the flirty stage. That's the I'm trying to make sure you are who you say you are stage. That is not the here's 85 rules to go follow, but also I'm going to make you feel like shit when you can't do them, to the point that this person is questioning, am I really submissive?
Yeah.
You probably are. You probably are. And in the
just
right
got-
circumstances with the right partner,
Just got the wrong.
you'd be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so tired of shitty humans, too often men, making other people feel bad about themselves. Before I get the comment, hashtag not all men. Okay. I didn't know that one was going to make me rant, but there we go. We are on to the last one. I
Okay.
don't know if I'm going to rant, but I have thoughts.
Okay. All right.
It's the last one. Let's see where it takes us.
Oh boy.
Title: Submissive Women with Male Bosses.
Okay.
Hello. I'm curious to get people's perspectives on submissive women with a dom at home and a male boss in the workplace. Women, how do you compartmentalize listening to another man that isn't your dom? Men, as protectors, how do you feel when your submissive tells you that another man spoke to her in a tone that you don't appreciate and or tells her what to do? My partner brought this up to me today after her boss spoke to her about time management. She asked if I'd like to know in the future if it happens again because she knows it upsets me when I'm unable to protect her. I'm able to separate our personal and professional lives, but it's still upsetting to hear. How do you both, dom and subs, handle something like this? I feel like that was the sigh of judgment. And I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Daddy. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, a little much there. Little much. You know what? I am your caregiver. Your person.
My daddy
You're
dom.
your daddy, okay? And I look out for you. Mm-hmm. All right? And I do everything in my power that I can do to take care of you. All right? Mm-hmm. But I also know that there are certain things that I just have absolutely no control over.
It's not about you.
It's not right.
It's not about power exchange.
Right. I mean, just like we have negotiated with stuff with the kids. Mm-hmm. Okay. Not part of the power exchange.
Right.
Okay. What is this guy going to do? Go to her boss? Go to their boss and, shouldn't talk to her like that. Only I can do that.
I was raised by a man that did that. Almost got my mother fired, mortified her, and he was not allowed to come to her, was not allowed to come to her place of work until she transferred jobs and went to a new location. Because all you do with that is, it's humiliating because you still got to go to work there. Now, you going to burn a bridge when you quit? I don't know what that's different, but yeah. I was raised by that. So,
it's one of those things then at that point where, there's this dominant, this protector, that's kind of like, when you come to me sometime and I'm like, okay, do you want advice? Do you want, to vent? Okay, I can't do anything about this, but you can vent to me.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because you don't have any power over what a complete third party has said to me, the way they've looked at me, the tone they've given, because, I do not want to be with somebody whose first, because I was raised by this, whose first response is to go, you disrespected my woman, I'm going to kick your ass. That's how you get your ass thrown in jail. Yeah. Nope, we're not doing that. But yes. Yeah. No. So, first of all, somebody pointed out in the live stream, and I do kind of get this. It's not about, it's sometimes the tone somebody uses. Okay. Yeah. Can your boss be a fucking shithead, disrespectful, think they can talk down? Yeah, fucking course.
Absolutely.
Because we're adults who live in the adult world, and there are way too many bosses like that. If you, the dom partner, get pissy when you're on one level, there's this there's this loyalty thing I like. Be mad on my behalf. Let me come
Yeah.
home to you, bitch about my day at work, tell you about my shitty boss. I did that when we were long distance. I still had a big girl job.
And you put up with me when I had that shitty
Right.
boss for a while too.
And man, I hated everybody you hated in your office. I liked everybody you liked. Same, right?
Yeah.
We vented to one another. We bitched. We're like, I fucking hate this person, right? Because that's how that goes.
Right.
But this idea that you're so upset in whatever way that means, it's not clear here, that your partner says, would you prefer I just not tell you this stuff so as not to upset you? What is happening?
Yeah.
First of all, though, here's the thing that really pissed me off about this whole thing.
Uh-huh.
It's not the question, because the question to me on its face is fucking ridiculous. Are you living in the real world or not? The thing that bothers me about this question, if the question had been, hey, Doms, does it bother you when your sub of any fucking gender goes through this? I still wouldn't like the question because, again, on its face, it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
But why is it submissive women? And why is it male bosses? Because submissive women have shitty female bosses. Okay? Male subs have shitty whatever boss. Male subs have shitty male bosses.
Right.
Okay, and it's not just like a man-woman thing, it's a people thing, right?
Sure.
So that's the first, like, okay, to me, that question specifically about female subs, male doms, says more about the person asking the question than the question itself. Because that is I'm a big, strong man who's out to protect my woman. And look, on one level, I read enough smut. I find that very sexy when I'm reading it. And when JB gets offended on my behalf and would ride to war on my behalf if we were not, fucking adults who don't want to go to jail, I like the idea of that. Because that's a thing that hits buttons for me. Like, there's nothing wrong with, like, kind of going, oh, that's kind of sexy. You'll get laid real hard tonight if you tell me something like that. There will be a response,
cool.
Right? But there's something about it, and I can't put it into words well enough. I'm not eloquent enough to say why it bothers me. But something about that directed to submissive women. Because everybody, unless you work for yourself, everybody's got a fucking boss. And quite frankly, I got a boss. It's the tax man I got to fucking pay. Like, So, unless you work for yourself, everybody has a boss. Unless you are the billionaire CEO that they're writing all that smut about. But most of us are not. We all have a boss. We all have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Dom, sub, switch don't fucking matter. So, why is it about a male Dom being in some specific kind of fury on behalf of their female? Like, something about that rubs me the wrong way and I don't like it. Now, let's just get to the actual question. If the boss is shitty and they're speaking disrespectfully to your partner, commiserate with your partner, and then what are you going to do to help them find a better job, a different job, something to get the fuck away from that? Are you going to, like, talk them through how they talk to HR or how they file a report or how they fucking quit and they've got another... Like, what are you doing to help the situation if the boss is truly being shitty? But work is work and power exchange is power exchange. When I had a big girl job, I showed up and my boss was shitty to me, but I got my paycheck every week, okay? I went there to exchange my time in exchange for money. So therefore, it's not a power dynamic. I had plenty of shitty bosses in that job. And sometimes they were shitty and it sucked. And I was like, I need a margarita tonight. And sometimes they were not shitty and it didn't fucking matter. I was hired to do a job that I got paid for. When it did get bad enough, I fucking left. It's not power exchange. My boss speaking to me is not on the level of my Dom speaking to me. No, not at all. Not at all. Now, when I was a repressed submissive who did not know anything about kink, and did not know I was submissive, but just loved authority, did I give a little bit too much of myself as an employee to a boss that did not deserve it? Absolutely, because apparently I was looking to scratch an itch I didn't know I had, but I like to be of service. I like
to be the good girl, even if that would be completely inappropriate at work to be called that. But you know what that vibe is, right? When you've made them happy, when you've done the thing and they're pleasantly surprised with you. And they tell you, hey, you did a great job, name of employee. Like, I was chasing that feeling incorrectly. Didn't know I was chasing the feeling. Figured it out with power exchange. Yeah. But they are two complete, like, there is a power dynamic between employer-employee, absolutely, sure. But it is not
it's not
the same.
It's not the same as a no.
It is not
as a lifestyle dynamic.
It is not. It is not. But also, I'm still annoyed that it's the female submissives that the male doms need to be protective of. Look. I am a female submissive, and I am more protective of my daddy dom than he is probably healthy, okay? I will go to battle. I don't want to talk to no damn buddy, but if you are mean to my daddy, I can find the words to say what I need to say, okay? That's a partner thing. It has nothing to do with his gender. It certainly has nothing to do with his role, because him being dominant does not immediately make him somehow superior. Does not immediately, like, we protect the fucking one another.
Yeah.
Because it's a relationship. Mm-hmm. I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it.
I agree.
Somebody out there is going to tell me how they think I'm wrong. That's been happening a lot lately, so I'm a little sensitive to it. I don't actually give a fuck, but still. I just don't like that question. I'm really pissed. Like, there's the whole power exchange compared to job thing. I don't, like, I kind of just roll my eyes at. But I would take that question in good faith if we were not specifically talking about male bosses and women. It's like, oh, well, the only person who's allowed to talk down to my female submissive is me. Okay, well, like, negotiate that. That's fine. Mm-hmm. But what?
Somebody said in the live chat, and pretty straight up, what, we're talking about cavemen here?
Right, that's what it feels like. It's what it feels like. And yes, it is misogyny, and I think that's the thing that really pisses me off, because we don't care about any other kind of submissive being treated like shit by a boss. Potentially, we don't even know. The boss could have just been like, "Hey, you've been late like every day for the past week. What's going on? Like, that's not acceptable. We can't do that here." And I wish we had those details, because I would be more judgmental if it was a completely typical, like, expectation of a boss to an employee. Like, who are you protecting from? Like, what are you trying to prove? Who do you need to prove it to? Are we proving it to ourselves that we are the big bad man who can take care of our little female submissive? Because they're so weak and they can't do it without me. Like, I hate it. Anyway, I don't like that one, but that was our last question. I tried to warn everybody it was a doozy. And I didn't quite, no, I don't like it. So that was our BDSM response. I should not have worn a hoodie while doing this episode. I
kind of got the blood pressure up a bit.
I'm so hot.
Your face is red, and
And I can't take the hoodie off. It's just a sports bra on under here, y'all. I'm enough of an exhibitionist that if you like the thought of that, I love it. Quite frankly, that's awesome. If you don't worry about it. I'm going to take my shirt off. You don't have to worry about anything. So yeah, this was chaotic in the best way, I think. Mm-hmm. We're back, we think. Mm-hmm. And thank you to Floor for sponsoring this episode. If you would like to find somebody who is actually a good partner for you and not some of these strays we clearly are picking up off the side of the road somewhere, consider Floor as your possible dating app. Link in the places. Okay. Oh my god.
So, are we good?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm pretty sure the answer to that is no, but we'll go with it. It's fine.
All right.
Keep it kinky, y'all. We'll see you Friday night if you come to our live stream. Daddy.
Yes, baby girl.
Can we talk to the crickets?
I think you can.
Okay.
I need to go refresh.
Yeah, I bet you do. I got so caught up I did not finish my drink before the episode ended. Oh gosh. Okay, we're here. It's bonus section time. Let's see if we can get you caught up. We tried to put it all over social media, and I told myself I would send out a newsletter last Friday. I did not send out a newsletter last Friday. We were very, very fortunate with Milton. We didn't even lose power, y'all. We were very lucky, and we know we were very lucky. Other parts of our county like lost power for a couple of days. We just had a couple flickers. We were fine. The wind howled, though. We knew it was coming, you know, it was going to hit at night. So JB and I both just went, we're not going to go to bed while it sounds like there's, you know, ghouls howling in our trees. So we'll just stay up. So we stayed up and we were like, as long as we have power, we'll just, you know, watch TV or read our book or whatever. We both, I think, dozed off around midnight.
Yeah.
And then I woke up at 1 a.m. because the wind was so bad. It was just a gust, but it was a big enough gust that I came straight out of my sleep. Realized that JB was sleeping and went, well, I guess I can never sleep again because somebody has to be on high alert. We did not need to be on high alert, but tell that to my anxiety. Yeah. And then I fell back asleep at like 3:30. And we crawled into bed at 4:30. Very happy that we came through unscathed.
Yeah.
We know that is not true. Not only just people we know, but, you know, JB lived in the Tampa Bay area
many years,
30 plus years.
Yeah.
So stuff that he's very familiar with is basically underwater.
It's been tough. I have not been able to look at a lot of the pictures. Because seeing areas that I've known for, you know, like you said, 30 plus years and more, you know, and places that I've gone and you know, hung out at, just
gone.
Gone.
Yeah, this was a double whammy from Helene to Milton.
Yeah.
And, I mean, Helene's damage stretched beyond, but Milton just hammered an area that was already...
And you know, that was the worst part about the Tampa Bay area. They hadn't even cleaned up from Helene. You know,
not even close.
The day before Milton, they were showing pictures, you know, the neighborhoods in Pinellas County and Hillsborough, Pasco, you know, trash just piled up in the yards and, you know, waiting to be picked up. And no, it was terrible. You know, I contacted one friend of ours and they evacuated. You know, most people did.
Thankfully,
yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and when all was said and done, Tampa Bay didn't even get a direct hit.
No.
You know,
no.
They, you know, the eye landed in Sarasota, and that they had.
Poor Sarasota.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
you
a
know,
doozy.
They don't have it any better down there either.
Basically, the West Coast is fucked right now.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So what we slept for a few hours, went to bed at 4:30, did not sleep for very long. JB basically just went and cleaned up the yard. I kept going, is there anything I can do to help? He's like, nope. I think I might have had some of this. You asked me about this, and I was like, no, I don't think so. And you had said you did. But basically, it was like we had drop afterwards.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, like, from my limited understanding of, like, science, because the emotions were heightened. We were in this super crazy anxious period, and then we rode out the storm in absolute safety, like complete safety, but that doesn't, like, it's a buildup, and then you're, like, nervous, and you don't know what's going to happen, and then you come down from it, and even though we're so lucky,
well, you know,
it's still there's the low.
The thing was that hit us, and this is how I kind of put it that way. You know, it first came to mainstream news probably around Monday of last week. You know, and they said it was a very fast moving storm.
Right.
It was going to be, you know, Tuesday night into Wednesday, and you know, started getting ready. And then they pushed it back a little bit, and then, you know, a little bit more. The storm slowed down, and is getting stronger, and, you know, pushed it back a little bit more. And it was just like this hurry up and wait, and what's it going to do? Yep. And, you know, we were concerned because if it had hit Tampa Bay directly on, we probably would have had
We'd have had worse winds. For sure.
worse winds. Thankfully for us, that didn't happen. So we came out of it fine. But yeah, Tampa Bay got hit.
So after the storm, we basically crashed.
Yeah.
We kept going, we're going to do stuff. And then we did not have the energy to do stuff.
No.
So we come out of this weekend, I think, feeling, better-ish, kind of getting back to normal, ready to get back to normal. And then, I keep saying, I think I found the straw that broke the camel's back. And then another straw happens. So we're fine when we say this. We're just tense and stressed.
Yeah.
Our dishwasher has not been cleaning properly that we've noticed for over a week.
Yeah.
Okay. It probably has been going on longer, but it was visible for about a week. So we're like, oh, it's been a hot minute since we cleaned it real good. Let's check filters. Let's we know how to take care of our dishwasher.
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, we've neglected it.
I went through. I pulled everything apart, cleaned, made sure the filters were all clean, the drain was open.
Right. We popped vinegar in, and several things we read said because we have hard water. If you have a big buildup, let the vinegar sit for a while before we went and made sure we got more dishwasher cleaner because we hadn't had that for a few months. Fine. So we let it sit for a couple of days. We don't touch our dishwasher. We actually let the dishwasher sit for several days.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, let's run a load to get the vinegar that was in there.
Right.
And then we ran another load
with the dishwasher cleaner.
Thinking, okay. And the inside of our dishwasher is spotless now.
Oh, yeah.
We woke up
And we did that at night before we went to bed.
Monday night.
Yeah.
Tuesday morning we wake up.
Yeah. Like, why is it wet over here?
Why is it when I step down on this part in the dining room, which is adjacent to our kitchen, water squidges up from under the hardwood floor?
From the hardwood floor.
Why is under the mat we have in front of the kitchen sink that we stand on, like a comfort mat thing, why is it wet underneath?
Yeah.
So then, of course, you have to go on the great hunt for the leak.
Mm-hmm.
Pulled the refrigerator out, tested the water. We're like, I'll get water. I'll do this.
Yeah.
No. Looked under the sink. We're like, is it leaking under?
Not a thing.
No. Pull the dishwasher out and see a little bit of water. But we're like, what? So JB goes, dishwasher is fully yanked out, y'all. Mm-hmm. He goes, let's test the dishwasher. Because we tested the fridge. There's no leaks under the sink. We're like, where's this water coming from? Turns on the dishwasher and water just pours out the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, well, we found the leak.
Yep.
The dishwasher repairman was out today. He was very nice.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to fix the dishwasher than it is to buy one, so we're fixing it.
Yep.
But the water water is an issue.
Yeah.
The water is an issue.
Yeah. Because the water ran underneath the kitchen cabinets.
Yep. Underneath the hardwood.
Underneath the hardwood floor, underneath a short wall between the kitchen and living room or dining room.
Right.
And then over the ledge into the office.
Right. That part's carpeted.
Yep. And also because our bedroom is on the other side of the kitchen, it was enough water, it soaked through the walls, and the carpet in our bedroom is damp.
Yeah, and it's been a slow leak for a while that we didn't notice, and then the two loads back to back
is what pushed it over the edge.
Pushed it over the edge.
Yep.
And we're still waiting to find out if the kind of water damage coverage we have on our homeowner's insurance covers this kind of damage.
Yep.
Because it's a pull-up flooring in multiple rooms, like not necessarily the whole floor in each room, but multiple flooring in multiple rooms.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So we're just so when we were trying to move through our week, I was like, well, of course we're doing the live stream, of course, both to the Wednesday night for the Friday episode and Friday night. I was like, but I don't have it in me to do much more than that. These are easy because I feel like I'm having a conversation in a way that I don't feel like with shorter episodes where I know y'all know we're not fully scripted, but we got like more of a point to try and get to.
And a little bit more concise.
Right. We were also supposed to review something, and I was like, between the storm last week and now this, I haven't even had time to look at the damn thing. Yeah. So we were like, you know what? We're just gonna give ourselves a little break. We're just gonna give ourselves a little break. Yeah. So yeah, we basically lost yesterday because the morning was spent finding the leak, figuring out like how far it had spread. Poor JB was in every room that connects to the kitchen in any way. We got real paranoid. Was like, okay, when it came over the ledge into the office, we were like, did it soak through the wall into the office? It did not.
It did not.
It did not. But then it was several hours later. He went, oh shit, let me go check. And then he checked the bedroom because
and sure enough.
Yeah, our cabinets,
the bottom
are soft now. Yep. Yeah. So. Yeah, that's just a thing.
Yeah.
And
I said I will never, ever buy GE appliances again.
Every single GE appliance.
We're on our second ice maker in the fridge.
In the fridge, yeah.
Matter of fact, I haven't even fixed that yet. Just
and this time we're not hiring the appliance person; we're just doing it ourselves.
Right. Yeah. Be able to get the part.
This is the second time our dishwasher is
second
crapped out.
Second time dishwasher's crapped out, and burner on the stove, too.
Yeah, and that's still working. And talking to the person who came to look at the dishwasher today, he was like, oh yeah, that happens a lot. The burner element that would have to be replaced, he's like, that by itself before labor and blah, that's $250. I was like, I need to go price ovens now. Like, is it going to be cheaper to fix it or buy a new one?
And you know, I feel a little bit of responsibility in this because, you know, when we were looking, you know, we looked at GE because my grandmother had GE appliances and they lasted her entire life, and my mom had her GE appliances and they lasted her, you know, entire life, and not anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Mr. Spock points out at least the GE stuff doesn't sing like the other ones. Yeah, our washer and dryer sing to us, and after all these years, I'm still not used to it. Yeah. Still like, what is happening?
It's become a joke when the dryer and the washer go into their little thing. It's like, oh, the ice cream man's here.
The ice cream man's here. Yeah. No, I am old in the way that I'm like, I would like to go back to, like, give me appliances that don't have computerized anything in them. Give me the, like, washer thing that you put in the tub, like something. Give me something that can be repaired easily. Of course, that's a dying art, and the people who have the knowledge to repair them are, you know, slowly going away. But I'm just like, now I know why my dad was always like, I don't need a car with all the, you know, bells and whistles. That's just more stuff that can break. That is my old person thing. It's like, I don't want all these damn appliances that can do 85 things, because all those 85 things will break.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I guess what I'm, you know, you spend that kind of money on this stuff, and you know, shoot, it's barely out of warranty, and it's, you know,
it's usually the day after it's out of warranty.
Yeah.
So the joys of home ownership for anybody who's like, gee, is it worth it? I can't answer that for you. Right
can't tell you. Yeah, no.
Owning my own home is 10 times better than a shitty landlord, because I've had shitty landlords. But when you have a decent landlord that actually will fix shit for you, I mean, I could be convinced to go back to renting. Yay! So yeah, we were a little tired, and we've been low energy now. But things pick back up as they do. So tomorrow afternoon, I head to Gainesville. The oldest needs groceries, and was texting me on like Sunday night for me to go Monday. And I was like, I cannot do that, but I can get there Thursday. And I was like, okay. But then I'm an old lady who has anxiety. I was like, we're doing this quickly because I want to get back to my part of town before rush hour traffic. I'm not driving in that traffic.
Yeah.
He laughed at me. So there's that. Next week we go to a concert of his. Oh, that was the other thing. So Sunday, he was like, I need groceries. And he thought I was going Monday. I was like, I cannot go Monday. Then Monday, he goes, I have a performance tomorrow. And I was like, I love you so much. You did not tell me about. He's like, I thought I had told you.
No.
I was like, I really hate this because we are not going to. I mean, that was. He's telling me this. Yeah, he's telling me this Monday. We just knew the dishwasher wasn't working right. We didn't know it was leaking all over the place. And I was already like, we got stuff going on. Ugh. And then Tuesday morning, I was like, no, for real. I'm definitely not coming. Because that was when we were dealing with the dishwasher. So I was like, oh, so you have a concert next week. We're definitely going to that one. We'll see you for that one. And then there's a concert on my birthday. Apparently my birthday's in the middle of the week this year. I didn't notice. I don't know. So he's got a performance that day, too. So we'll be doing that. My birthday's at the end of the month. For anybody who's like, what does that matter?
Because our anniversary is the beginning of the week, and then your birthday. Yeah.
I know. So, yeah. So life just keeps rolling on, and we just keep rolling with it.
Yep. And I've been doing a lot of handyman stuff at your aunt and uncle's.
Oh my God, they gave you a honey-do list. So I think I mentioned this a couple weeks ago, last time we streamed. My uncle had surgery. My aunt is disabled. My mom, who is retired and has like tons of free time, came to stay with them to help them out. Okay, fine. So my uncle's recovered very fast. And so my mom was like helping out around the house, but also kind of, you know how when you live in your own house and something like stops working right and you go, I'll get to it. And then it just becomes normal and background noise and you don't even remember that.
I'll get round to it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, my mother came in with fresh eyes and was like, oh, this needs and this needs and this needs. And then it was turns to JB. Oh, could you do this for us? They're out of town this week. They're staying up in a cabin in the Georgia mountains, where it's not like a devastated place from like Helene or whatever. Like it's fine. They can be there. And so we were like, so we're taking care of their cat, which is fine. We do that for them every time they go out of town. Anyway, but my mom left with a list of chores could JB complete for them, and we got them done.
We did. We did.
And saved their. It's not, they don't have a Roomba, they have a shark, but they're like our Rosie the Roomba, their version of that, had like gotten lost in the wilderness of their house while they've been gone, found her, put her back on the charger.
Yeah.
Got to love on the cat a little bit. Like, so.
And Silent asked about the pets. Fur babies are all fine.
Oh, yeah.
Fur
They're right
babies
as
are fine.
rain. They're doing fine.
Lola, she's been, oh my gosh, almost obnoxious with her, with the nice weather. She wants to go out, then she wants to come in. Wants to go out, then she wants to come in.
Yeah, all day today.
Yeah.
And then when the appliance repair person was here, I kept her in the office with me because she's actually fine with most people. But one, most people don't want to be, some people don't want to be around big dogs.
Right.
Two, until she's fine with you, you will hear her big girl bark, and and that could scare people. We didn't want any of that. We're like, yeah. So I kept her here in the office with me while JB was talking to the repair person. Yeah. And, she was mostly fine until she decided she didn't want to be in here anymore.
She wasn't barking.
She was howling.
She was doing that woo that she does.
Yes.
You know, that she's been abandoned.
Oh yeah, just lost, forsaken. I am sitting on the floor. I did not sit on the floor. I'm sitting on the floor going, Lola, come here. Lola, let me love you. And she would run over to me, let me scratch her ears for like half a second, run back to the door, and a woo. And I would go, Lola, come here. And she'd run to me, and I could scratch her ears, and she'd run back. And we did that multiple times. Yeah. Thankfully, the person who was here did not seem to be fazed by any of that.
No, he didn't.
That was nice. Some people love pitties, and are like, oh, do you have a pitty? And then we get into a conversation about how much I love pitties. And some people, especially if she does her big girl bark, they just sort of tense up, which is why we keep her, like, we're not trying to, like, freak anybody out.
Ever since we realized that, you know, when we had the pest control, and, or even if she would see someone in the neighborhood, you know, our spray tech doing the yard, something about these folks that they have a wand in their hand, and that
Freaks
does
her
not
the fuck
sit
out.
well. And sometimes I wonder if it's because she was shot. If that to her that
And
I mean
think
I don't
I think she went through more abuse than just
probably
being shot in the leg.
probably.
And
But you know, she's doing good. It was funny after he left and opened up the door, she pretty much had been glued to my side for the rest of the day.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I had the opportunity today to lay down and on the sofa and take a nap. You know, I was barely sat down on that sofa and had that little throw blanket over me, then she was on top of me.
Wow. Okay, because you've been very sad that she would not get on the couch with you lately.
She did. You know, she couldn't wait.
I think she feels like a new woman with this cooler weather. I
think
know
so.
I do.
I do. Yeah.
I mean, my whole
Yeah.
personality has changed.
Mhm.
Well, maybe not, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the cats are fine. Ella has actually been a little more personable is not the right word because she's a very social
Affectionate.
cat. Yeah, thank
Yeah.
you. That's what I want because she's been going from lap to lap to lap.
Yep.
And then like a circuit. Like if we're all, especially if we're all sitting on the couch, she just
Yeah.
kind of goes down the line and wants to sit with everybody. And like her purrs feel like louder to me. I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
it's because you don't normally cuddle up with me, but girl. Onyx is Onyx.
Oh yeah.
Onyx is Onyx.
And she will always be Onyx.
She will
I don't
always
think
be
she'll,
Onyx.
Ever not be? Yeah.
Thank God we love her.
Well, like we say about Ella, thank God she's pretty.
Oh Lord, that one. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I know it's a running like joke on the internet about, you know, multiple cats sharing one brain cell. Onyx does not let Ella have the brain cell.
No, no, she does not. She's like,
Onyx-
this is mine. I had it way before you came along.
You don't know what to do with the brain cell, so
Right.
you don't get it. I'm pretty sure Onyx has more than one, but she's like keeping Ella's one brain cell away from her. Oh, thank God Ella's cute. Oh, Lordy. So yeah, we're
Yeah.
you know, other than the little extra like house stress, we're mostly good and fine.
Yeah.
We are finally, in a way that we were not able to before, but we can now. We're finally doing some like major restocks for the kinkery.
Yep.
My major restock will be as fast as they get me the supplies come in that I've ordered to be shipped. And yours, you get to go play with wood tomorrow. Your favorite thing to do. I mean, it's probably been a hot minute since you've gotten to play with wood, but that's a different conversation. And so we're going to spend the weekend milling and processing wood and making more paddles, which is very exciting.
Yep. And I did doing some rearranging in the garage.
Yeah.
Trying to eke out a little more space in there.
More space, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
You know, I the benches where you now do most all of the
resin work.
I cleaned that off and gave you some extra real estate on top of the table.
I gained
there.
like 2 more feet of space.
Yeah.
So that's been
that's
been nice.
And that's
So here we
here we are.
Hopefully next week we can be fully back to normal. That would be nice.
Yeah.
That would be very nice. And then Friday night we'll be here.
Yep.
I don't know what state we'll be in,
But we'll be here. Yes, we will.
Yes,
we will.
So I guess that's enough for now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somebody mentioned it in live chat.
Oh,
so,
yes.
You have
Dia's
something that is
bunny.
not new behind you. I don't know how to describe it for podcast listeners. What words do we need to say to describe this?
Hang on. So it's a candle.
It's purple.
Purple. It is a wizard reading his, I hope I can say it right, grimoire.
I don't know, grimoire. I don't know
Yeah.
how it's actually said. It's a word I've only ever read.
Standing behind a dragon.
And he's had it forever.
Yep.
Forever. And that is not a candle that has ever seen a flame.
No.
It will never get burned.
No.
No. That's decor.
Yeah.
Is what that is.
So
Yeah. You zhuzhing up our space for
I thought,
the background for YouTube.
Yeah, I thought, maybe every once in a while throw something a little, shake it up a little bit.
I I'm here for that. I'm telling you, I'm in this phase where like, yeah, I want and am seeking very specific kinds of change. If I do not seek it out, I don't want it. Thank you. Are you listening to me, universe? I'm not asking for change. Anyway. Thank you, Yarn and Whiskey. Grimoire. That's how I've always said it. Thank you, X. See,
Thank you.
There's so many words that I've only ever read. I mean, and you and I both. It's funny because you get a little. We thought we were leaving. We're not. Sometimes you get a little self-conscious because I'll correct a word.
Yeah.
And you kind of do this thing. I go, no, I know you've only read it. You've just never heard it said. Here, I'll say it for you. Now you know. It bothers me when somebody I'm not like super close to corrects me, because then I get that whole, oh no, I'm an awful human being who made a mistake, I'm not allowed to do that. That's my own personal trauma. JB's allowed to correct me, but he tends to get the giggles because it's very rare that he has to correct my pronunciation. Normally it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And so he finds it very humorous, but it's usually because I have really butchered a word. Like no reasonable person would know how I got that combination of letters to sound like that. So it's fine. It's fine. If the people you love most in the world aren't allowed to laugh at you, who is? Nobody. Yeah. But anyway, that's again my own personal trauma.
So yeah, that's kind of been us in a nutshell lately.
Oh God! Every time you say stuff like that, I can't. Is it Jim Carrey? It's somebody who went. It was Austin Powers. It was an Austin Powers movie. This is me in a nutshell. Every time. Every time. I'm just now admitting it, but every time you say that's blah 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 in a nutshell, I'm like, no, this is me in a nutshell. Anyway. Okay, I think we should go now.
Yeah.
We'll be back Friday night, October 18th, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for being here, especially to the bitter end.
Yeah.
We appreciate all of you.
We do.
We will talk to y'all
Yep.
later. Okay. Bye.
Bye.